Hanukkah is approaching, so we're going to give a special shiur on the laws of Hanukkah. But this is not a standard shiur on where light the menorah and whether you say Lahadlik ner Hanukkah or ner shel Hanukkah. This is a different style shiur. My question over here is: are you allowed to pay Dreidel on Hanukkah? Are you allowed to play Dreidel on Hanukkah? And my question more specifically is, are you allowed to sit with Chaburat Chaverim and put in money and play Dreidel? Is that considered mutar, or it's forbidden because of gambling? And we're going to see that this is not only specifically in regards to playing Dreidel, but anytime somebody wants to play with his friends poker for money, or in Rav Ovadia Yosef has a very famous teshuvah in Yabia Omer, I think it's Chelik Tet, whether a person is allowed to buy the lottery in Israel. A person is allowed to buy the lottery in Israel. And all types of raffles, etc. What's the question? The Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin, Daf Lamed Daled, Daf Chaf Daled, Amud Bet, the Mishnah says over there the following: Ve'eluhen hapesulin le'edut. Ve'eluhen hapesulin. These are the people that are pasul to be witnesses. Hamesahek bekuvya. Somebody who plays dice, plays with dice. They had that in those days, a dice player. Now, the Gemara discusses, why is a dice player forbidden? Mesahek bekuvya, maika avi. What is the isur that a mesahek bekuvya did? Answers the Gemara, Amara mibar hama mishum dave ha'asmachta, because it's called an asmachta. The asmachta lo kanya. What does asmachta mean? Asmachta, Rashi says, is that something that you are not giving it on your own will. You are just giving it because you think really you're going to win. So when the person wins and you actually don't win, which is what happens in gambling most of the time, you don't give it belev shalem, you don't give it in full heart, and it's like the other person is stealing from you, which is an unbelievable concept. It's one of the most complicated and complex sugyot in Shas, the sugya of asmachta, which manifests itself in many different areas. We're only going to use it regarding gambling, which means, practically speaking, the opinion of Rami Bar Hama is that if somebody makes a bet with somebody, I put 100, you put 100 down, whether we're going to flip a coin, what side of the coin is going to come out, the one who wins the money, it's robbery. Whether it's deoraita or derabanan, it's machloket Rashi Tosfot, the Miro Mesadev, the Netziv explains. However, it is a prohibition according to Rabbi Bar Chama. Rav Yehuda says no, that's not called asmachta. That type of asmachta of gambling, kanya. Why is a person who's mesachek bekuvya pasul la'edut? That's only be'en lo umnot elahu. That's only when his only job is that. If his job is only mesachek bekuvya, we're afraid he's also going to lie because he's not getting his money in the most proper ways. How are we posek? Is mesachek bekuvya called asmachta kanya or lo kanya? It's machloket. Machloket rishonim. The Rambam, the way the Kesef Mishnah, in other words, and others understand, is that mesachek bekuvya is a prohibition of gezel midirabanan. Gezel midirabanan. Most of the Rishonim are not posek like this Rambam, and they say it's allowed. In Choshen Mishpat, Siman Resh Zayin, the Maran brings that mesachek bekuvya is asmachta, and the Rama over there argues. The Rama says it's not called asmachta. The Rama says that anything that a person thought he was going to win and he put the money down, as long as they put the money down on a table that's bodem to show that he's serious, not that he's betting in the air, that's not called asmachta, and that, technically speaking, is not called gezela. That's not called gezela. So it's a machloket Rambam and other Rishonim. It's machloket Shulchan Aruch and Rama. Now, just to advance the topic, the Ben Ish Chai was asked in Shelot Utshuvot Rav Pe'alim Orach Chaim Chelik Bet Siman Lamed, I believe. He was asked, and in Baghdad there was a certain game that somebody would have a box, and in that box there was 30 30 little pieces of paper that had all types of animals and birds, etc. And anybody would there would be one of those papers they would put in the box, locked, and a key that nobody else had. Other people would come around and they would donate one rufia, not donate, they would pay their way in, one rufia, it was called one coin, let's say $1, to be in this game, and they would write down what they thought the animal was. And whoever the winner was, they opened up the box, he would win all 30. The Ben Ish Chai was asked, is that considered asmachta lokanya or not? Is that a prohibition or not? The Ben Ish Chai ends up and he says, that is called a prohibition, and it's forbidden. Asks the Ben Ish Chai, what is that different than a very similar case, which is that when somebody has a Sefer Torah that he wants to auction off, so everyone gives their bid. Everyone says, I'm going to put in $100 to be in this raffle, and at the end of the day, they win the raffle. Says it happens a lot of times, and people do such a thing. So why is that raffle allowed and this is not allowed? So one of the answers the Ben Ish Chai gives is like this: when the person who owns the Sefer Torah, he has a Sefer Torah worth $20,000. He had 500 people giving $100, so that he's going to make money on the Sefer Torah. So he's able to give the Sefer Torah b'dei shalem, even if he's going to come out even or even a little less. But it's a transaction. It's not that it's a bet between two people that are giving money that was not there yet. Over he has a Sefer Torah, and for the price that they're paying, he's able to give it. Rav Ovadia says that somebody who plays the lotto in Israel, in America, there's no problem of asmachta with goyim. It's a form of gizilet rabbanan that with goyim is permitted. So you're allowed to play a lottery ticket in America, Canada, anywhere you want, no problem. But in Israel, he says it's a problem because it's asmachta lokanya. It's a problem if you're a Sephardi. If you're Ashkenazi, the Rama was posek that asmachta is kanya, so you would be able to. Now, it comes. So this was a psak of Rav Yosef. He forbids till today people playing the lottery if you're Sephardi because of asmachta kanya. Many people don't know this. Others argued on Rav Yosef on this psak, and they say that's not called asmachta lokanya. Asmachta lokanya is that it's one big pot. Over here, the mifal apayis is called. They have money that for them, this money is similar to the case of the Ben Ish Chai, that it's you paid $1 as a zechut, as a right to be in the lottery that you might win. You knew that, and the way I explain it is that way. You know very well that for $1 that you might win $10 million. It's tremendous amount for just your dollar that you know very well there's very good chances you're not going to win. And when you give the money, you're giving it b'lev shalem as a zchut for maybe winning that much amount of money. If there's a bet between you and me, both of us think that we're going to win. So whenever I don't win, I don't really have the proper intention. If I don't win, I don't really have the proper intention to give it to you. So I really thought I was going to win. But by lotto, it's such a large magnitude that I know very well I might not win, but I'm still paying that money for the zechut. It could be that's different. And a similar svara, Rabbi Moshe Levi says that when somebody pays the mifal apais, they own the money now. That's not any. You already gave up your money. That's not called asmachta lokanya. Even for Sfaradim, that would be allowed. Rav Ovadia said forbade. Others permitted. The Sefer Yeshurot Shuvot Yaskilavdi permitted, and others permitted. But that's the law. That's getting back to us. That's only regarding law. What would be regarding dreidel play for money? So you would tell me, okay, so for Sfaradim it's forbidden. For Ashkenazim it's allowed, which actually makes sense because dreidel was never a Sephardi game, right? Dreidel, the word dreidel. The truth is, the Mishnah Brura in Hilchot Hanukkah discusses the game that people sit around at a table and play. It says, Yesh harbe isurim. There's a lot of isurim in this regard. It seems the Mishnah Brura also held that it wasn't so proper. Now, there's a fascinating halacha in Hilchot Shabbat, Siman Shin Chav Bet, which is written like this. And many people don't know this. This is based on the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, Daf Kuf Mem Tet, that if somebody is giving out different pieces of cake to his children. Some are bigger, some are smaller. So you can make a lottery to your children, right? You can make a lottery as long as it's even pieces. But if it's not even pieces, even for your children and your family, you're not allowed to do it. And not only on Shabbat, even during the week. You're not allowed to raffle off different small pieces of cake for children. That the big one might win, and he might win this cake. Why? Mishum kuvia, because it's similar to Mesachik Bekuvia. When you are, listen to this point, when you are raffling off a piece of cake, this child thinks that he's going to get this cake, and they're not putting in money, so they're getting used to the concept of lottery, and that's forbidden because it's part of the realm of kuvya. You should never get involved in lottery games because that leads to gzela de rabbanan, because nobody really wants to give the money over to the other guy. So comes along the Shulchan Aruch, and he says it's forbidden. The Rama doesn't say anything over here. The Rama seems to agree to Shulchan Aruch and say that this type of lottery of mana gdola im mana ktana would be forbidden. I ask you a question. I thought that the Rama permitted asmachta. I thought the Rama permitted Misachik Bekuvia. Why all of a sudden over here in Hilchot Shabbat doesn't he say anything? The truth is, the Magen Avram asks a similar question. And he answers, since there is an isur if it's your only job, so it's something you should stay away from. Yesh k'tzat isur badavar. Even according to the Rama, it's not proper to play kubia. Just according to Maran, it's mamash gizela, the Rabbanan, and according to the Rama, no. The Acharonim have a question. How is it possible that we're able to make raffles for the children, or for fundraisers? We always have these Chinese auctions raffles. Why isn't that a problem of asmachta? Let's think about it. If I put in, my yeshiva comes in and says, once you give $100, you might win a car. Give $100. I don't win the car. I didn't really want to give $100. The guy's going to win the $100 now. I don't. Like let's say he's going to win the pot of $10,000. He's going to win that pot. I don't want to give it. The answer is Rav Bloy of the Sefer Pitrei Hoshen says there I had the intention to give it for tzedakah. It was a fringe benefit that I might win and everything, but my main intention is tzedakah. That I think that we could add on also the Ben Ish Chai's head there.
So this is like Sefer Torah.
Yeah, it's just like Sefer Torah. That they have the car that a lot of times it was donated already, or even if it's the pot of money, it's a third party over here. Me and you are giving $100 to a third party, and they're going to decide to give their $10,000. They're giving Belev Shalem. It's not Zela, because they know that there's a chance to lose. They know that there's a chance to. They know that they're going to make money on the deal. It's not that they wanted to make this fundraiser. So it's all done as a proper as a proper Lev Shalem. There's another svara to say that these things are allowed, and this would be a svara to permit even the raffles of Mifal HaPais. Is the Hazoni, not the what Bet Shlomo says. When you have the principle of Dina de Malchuta Dina, the law of the land is, by raffles and by lotteries, whoever wins, wins. Since you know that that's the law of the land, your mindset is to give the money totally. But since Dina de Malchuta, according to Torah law, you would have to give this money. You have Gmirudat, you have complete and willingly and complete a transfer of ownership in your mind, which is what's necessary for a kinyan on Shabbat, in order to give that money, and you're not going to get it back because you know that according to law that's the way it works. So that strengthens your resolve to make sure that it's not getting up the other. Pardon?
So
there's no deception involved over here. And the question is, Dina de Malchuta trumps the Halakha over here. Not because Dina de Melchuta is allowed to trump the Halakha. Because Dina de Melchuta says that your dot is 100% absolute, because you know that you're 100% okay with it, because you know that that's how the system works. So let's recap and let's do a summary. We mentioned about dreidel playing. It's for sure forbidden, especially for Sephardic. Even for Ashkenazim, it involves this issue that the Rama brought down, like the Biur Halakha writes. One shouldn't play dreidel for money amongst your friends, even if you're saying it's just a game, because whatever the person wins, it's gizela midrabanan. Nevertheless, if it's with goyim, it would be permitted. And I'm not saying that it's allowed to gamble. I'm just saying there might not be any isur gezela. But the Rambam says clearly that even though it's allowed, it's a waste of time, and a person shouldn't be dealing with these things, and he should instead be osik be livrei chokhmah. The Rambam in Hilchot Gezela Perek Vav says so playing dreidel and playing poker games amongst oneself, there's no heter, that's forbidden, and even for Ashkenazim, not only for Ashkenazim. Playing the lottery in Israel, Rav Avadia Yosef, forbade it, and there are other poskim that permitted it, and we gave many reasons to those poskim why they permitted it. Then we have all types of raffles and Sefer Torah that not only because of a fundraiser it's allowed, but also since it's a third party that they are giving it willingly and as a transaction, then it would be for sure permitted. Hazaku Baruch. Everyone should have a happy Hanukkah.